It's Hayley. It's Melissa. And today we're going to be talking about something that's a little bit more serious and personal to us, which is dealing with nothing too like clinical or serious, but we've both dealt with forms of depression and anxiety, and we've gone through some pretty tough times having to deal with it. So we thought we'd share our stories and experiences and how we've kind of started to or tried to or have overcome it.
The process of getting through it.
So I'll talk about my experience first. It started a few years ago, probably like middle of high school, like grade 10-ish. I started experiencing really bad, not like anything that like I needed meds for or anything, but I started experiencing some depression issues. I went through some pretty tough times trying to deal with that, and it got to a point where I was a little bit suicidal and I would harm myself physically, and it's not something that I'm proud of, and it's not something that I like to share with a lot of people, but I think now that I can say that I've overcome it, I like to share my story with people and share with people that I went through this really rough time in my life, but now look at where I am. There was a lot of times where I would just be alone and I would just overthink a lot of things, and I would just get into this, and it's not something that's just in your brain, but like to me it affected me physically, and you just feel really like, I don't know, it's hard to describe. You can't like breathe, and it's like you just feel like you're drowning inside, but nobody really can see it or like can tell that you are. It affected me in a lot of ways, and it was to the point where like I didn't enjoy even the things people would be like, oh, you're sad, just do something that makes you happy, and dance is like the only thing that actually makes me happy, and I would go to dance and just it still wouldn't make me happy, and it's not just that simple to just do something that makes you happy. That's my story.
I didn't have depression or anything like that, but I have an anxiety problem. It's not diagnosed, like I don't have a disorder and I don't take meds. I mean, it's come to the point lately that maybe I should, but I really don't want to resort to that because medication is just, you want to avoid that as long as you possibly can. I've just had really bad panic attacks for, I don't know, ever since I was like 11-ish, so grade 5 till now. I just get really worked up, and the thing about panic attacks is they're different for everyone, and for me, I shake, my heart races, so you get heart palpitations, and I get super nauseous. So one, I hate getting sick, and when I have an anxiety attack, I feel like I'm gonna get sick, so I never know when I'm actually sick, which really sucks. It sucks because it can affect me in public too, so like I can be in public and having a panic attack and no one around me knows what's going on. I haven't overcome it yet. It's still something I'm struggling with, and the thing about anxiety or depression or any mental disorder is it's not gonna get better in like the days. Like you can't just say, oh, I don't want this anymore, and it's gone. Like
it's kind of like losing weight.
Yeah.
It's like it's not gonna happen within 2 days or 2 weeks. It's a process that takes time, and it's something that you're gonna have to work on every single day, and it's something that might take a few months or a few years even, but it definitely takes time. You cannot expect it to just go away.
And so many people for that reason they struggle with that. They give up. They like there's no point in me getting better. I'm not gonna get better, and you can't tell yourself that. You gotta wake up every morning and you gotta look in the mirror and you gotta say like, I'm gonna get better today, and I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna
even if it's just like try setting small goals, like, okay, well, I'm not gonna freak out during my math exam.
It's important to think like that, and I know I didn't go into much detail about my anxiety, but that's the gist of it. I mean, if you look up panic attacks, they peak within 10 to 25 minutes. They don't last longer than that. They don't come with a warning. That is the worst part about them, and for me, anyone can experience them, but for me it's like I had my first one, and once they came again, I hated them. So I worry about getting them, and then worrying about getting them makes you get them. That's the problem with people who have anxiety, is that they just worry way too much about the things they shouldn't worry about. Most of the time it's the things you can't control. That's my problem. I worry about not being in control, and having an anxiety attack or a panic attack, I'm not in control.
It took a lot of time and a lot of me maturing as a person, and as like we said before, like it didn't get better right away. There was obviously times where I would go back and be in a really low state in my life, and like I would harm myself again, or I would consider it, or something like that. But I can honestly say now I'm in a state where it's been probably around 500 days since I last harmed myself. And I can say that now I'm in a place where I don't even consider it. Yeah, there's obviously times where I get really sad, or there's situations I go through where I just like lay in my bed and I just overthink and I like get really upset. But honestly, you just have to let time kind of take over, and you have to grow as a person. But honestly, like, it's not, I can't like recommend like, oh yeah, like do this, do that. Like, you just have to keep thinking positively. Like, it sounds really bad, like oversaid, like think positive, everything will end up okay. But honestly, you just have to keep saying like, I'm gonna get through this, it's gonna get better, I'm gonna overcome this, I'm gonna be a stronger person in the end. And honestly, you will get through it, and you are going to be so proud of your damn self.
Oh, it's gonna be
because you are gonna be like, wow, I was this person like a year ago or a few months ago, and now look at where I am now. Look at how much I've grown and matured and changed as a person, and it's just gonna feel so good.
For my anxiety, it's still here, it's still there. I recently actually went to see someone to talk about it, and as much as that, like, talking to someone, it does help. I mean, it didn't overly help, but my motivation is, or anyone out there, is that I don't want to be like this. Like, that's my problem. I wake up and I like, or when I'm having an anxiety attack and it passes, I hate myself. Like, I hate myself over and over and over again because I don't want to be like this. I'm afraid of living my life, and like this thing, or this, my brain is stopping me from enjoying everything that life has to offer, because you know what, it isn't that bad. We're pretty lucky, and as far as I'm concerned, I only have one. I only have one life, and I don't intend on wasting any more than I already have. So that's what's getting me through. That's what's keeping me going every day. Like Melissa said, you just gotta keep going. You gotta keep yourself motivated, because this moment you stop thinking highly and thinking positive, everything's gonna crumble and everything's gonna crash. And it's okay to have those moments from time to time, but you gotta keep going, because like we said, it's gonna feel so damn good when you're over. It's gonna feel so good, and then you get to tell everybody. You get to tell them that
I went through this, and look at where I am now.
And people, yeah, like, you're gonna be on top of the world, and you're gonna be living your life to the absolute fullest.
And you're gonna be just a happier person in general, and people are gonna see you as this like ray of light just walking into a...
They're gonna see you as Jesus, basically.
Jesus Christ.
Basically.
You are gonna be Jesus Christ.
You
walk into that room like, look at me,
damn,
I'm Jesus Christ.
Okay, well, maybe not that far. Maybe not that far. But you know. It's gonna feel really good, and don't give up. You're not alone either. Like, that's the worst part of having anxiety or depression or whatever you have. You think you're all by yourself, and you're not. And it's good to talk to people about it. Please talk about it with someone, your family, your friends, your guidance counselors. They have everything.
Someone you can put your trust in, and know that they won't judge you or
tell
think
anybody.
or think of you as a lesser person because of it.
Yeah, you really, really, really have to trust them. Like, that's the most important thing, because if they tell someone and they go, like, that shoots down your confidence even more.
Pretty much just because you have to think positively for your actions to be positive. You have to think positively, or else, you know, you think negatively, then negative things are gonna happen to you. So you always have to have that positive mindset for your life to be positive.
Yeah. Just one more tip. If you have fears, because anxiety definitely there's the phobic anxiety. If you have that, think of the possible worst situation that can come of that fear, because odds are it's not that bad.
It's probably not gonna happen either.
Yeah, so You gotta put yourself in the worst possible situation. As much as you don't want to, put yourself there and realize it's not gonna be that bad. And it's gonna, if it happens, it happens. You can't control it.
And that's another thing about like depression too. You always think about things that you have no control over, or things that have happened in the past that you cannot change. And it's like if you went through a bad breakup or something like that, and you're like, oh man, I should have done this instead, or I should have been more like this, or I should have said this or something like that. And those are things that you cannot change because they're already done and over with. And especially if you're trying to change something about yourself for someone else, please do not do that.
Never.
I have learned that the hard way. Do not change for anybody else. People should love you for who you are, not for who they want you to be. So just be yourself, and people are gonna fall in love with you or they're gonna hate you.
And don't live to please everyone, because you're not. I spent so much of my time of my life doing that, and I realized no, not every single person I come across is gonna like me, and I honestly do not care. I really don't care if you hate me, because there's people who love me. And
that kind of outweighs it like just much.
You gotta keep saying that. Wake up in the mirror and
wake up in the mirror feeling like P. Diddy. You tell yourself, man, I am P. Diddy. Then you look in the mirror and you realize you're a white female, but whatever.
It's okay to love yourself. Actually, it's like the best possible thing you could do for yourself. Anyways.
Let's wrap this up. You are a beautiful human being, and don't you ever think any less of yourself, because you are 100% worth it. And whoever tells you any less, you just knock them right out.
No, you kick them right in the gonads, especially if they're
If it's a guy. I mean, if it's a girl,
you can still kick him in the vagina.
Vagina hurts too.
Yeah.
Throat punches hurt as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Punch him right in the throat.
Or boobs, those are tender too.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, just take all our advice, think about it.
Really think about it.
It's just things that have worked for us. It might not work for you, but
and do what's best for you. Like, if what we said didn't help you, I'm sorry.
We tried.
I really hope it does. The big point we're trying to get across is you're not alone.
Yeah.
Be you, because you're so important.
There's people who you might not think are suffering from this. Like, when I tell people what I've gone through, they're like, what? I would never expect that from you, because you're such an outgoing and loud and happy person that, and like, people always think I am like the most confident girl they've ever seen, when I'm really not at all. But the thing is to think, like, don't judge other people because of what you think they are, because odds are that they're probably not. So we can talk about our weekly obsessions now.
Liven up the video, make it happy.
Yeah! Something that makes you happy. What's in this purple little container thing? It's iced tea. Now, it's not just regular Canadian iced tea, which is full of sugar. This is just tea and ice.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah! In Canada, we don't have like sweet tea. We have like this sugary iced tea shit that I don't like.
It's really good.
I don't like it. I prefer like the American iced tea, like sweet tea. Yeah, so that's what I've been drinking a lot lately, and it's just really good.
Okay, well, my weekly obsession is this beautiful beanie that I just got. It's navy blue and it's got snowflakes on it. It's got a pom-pom on it. It's super cute, and I got it, I don't know, I got it from like Amazon.com. Oh my gosh, Amazon shipping is freaking fast. Got with my house in like a week. And that shit don't happen. But yeah, it's super cute. I love it. I wear it all the time.
Okay, so that is all we have for you today. We hope you enjoyed our little deep conversation and our stories that we shared with you. If it helped you out in any way,
please give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
If you liked it, and if you want us to do kind of like more talks like this, I guess.
Yeah, if you want us to do some more like advice videos or something like that, then just totes tell us.
Yeah, totes tell us.
Yeah.
Comment. Like it,
subscribe, do all that
fun
things.
stuff.
Our social media links will be in the down bar if you want to follow us on there. And yeah, we will see you next time. Bye.
Wow, that wasn't the creepiest.